New at 11, 6 News reporter Mona Nair is live in the newsroom. Mona, what have you been able to find out tonight?
Lori, after we got contacted by this couple about the number of aggressive prostitutes in their neighborhood, we sent one of our photographers over to discreetly get video of the area. Well, he says a prostitute tried to get into his car, but he drove away. Here's more of what we found on Central and Broadway. A woman standing on a street corner. It appears she could be hamming up her act, dancing for our camera. Later, we see her get picked up by someone in this white pickup truck.
The guy will honk at them, and they'll pull down the next alley, and you'll see the prostitute run down the street, and they'll meet in a back alley. R.J. Consular and his wife Morgan have seen the whole spectrum of hooker activity in the streets and alleys around their home.
There have been cars parked in front of our house, picking up people or dropping off.
They took some cell phone video where they identified this woman as one of the regular prostitutes in their neighborhood. And it so happens we saw the same woman while looking into this story this evening. What are you doing in this neighborhood?
I live here, Every girl you say up here ain't no girl of the night. I live right up here off this street. Go get the drug dealers. Go get the killers.
With a few more curse words, she told us off.
They've been arrested 10, 15 times, so, or more.
Knoxville police say while they do regular prostitution stings, arresting these women, as well as men, are not a deterrent. They typically get out and start over in a different neighborhood.
There's also websites on the web that they can look and say this is where there's some girls at or some people are working.
Prostitutes and their potential clients on the prowl, disturbing the peace of couples like this one.
When the problem's always in your face, it gets really frustrating.
With the weather this time of the year, you usually see a lot of open prostitution. Police say they are working on their next sting. They also tell us that some of these prostitutes have been doing this so long that they're able to identify an undercover cop car so they know immediately when they need to move out of an area. Live in the newsroom, Mona Nair, 6 News. Lori, now there's been a lot of rebuilding here in Bradley County, but there's still a lot of work to be done. Take, for example, this huge tree that came down on this home and still needs to be fixed up an entire year later. Rebuilding takes time. Even a year later, it's easy to tell that it must have been quite a tornado that came through this section of Cleveland. Larry Walters spent yet another afternoon picking up debris from a year ago.
This is just another small burn pile where we have to continue to pick up.
His own home had to be rebuilt along with so many others around him.
Now it's just every day you just have to continue figuring out how you're going to bounce back, How are you going to get cover the dirt, cover the nails, cover everything else to get grass to grow.
Across the street.
This is what used to be the Blue Springs Elementary School.
There's nothing left.
There's nothing left.
The little that was left of Blue Springs Elementary School no longer exists.
This school was devastated to the point where you couldn't do anything else with it.
The school was shut last year. Kids moved to other nearby schools and the place demolished.
The long-term plan is to build another school.
Even a year later, there's work to be done.
Just keep on going, Every day we're going to build back. It took a few seconds, a few minutes for it to all get wiped out. It's going to take years to get built back.
Bradley County saw another tornado in March of this year. It did cause some damage, but even more, I'd say, it really terrified the residents who'd been here through last year's tornado. Reporting live in Cleveland, Mona Nair, 6 News.
6 News reporter Mona Nair has been on Neyland Drive all afternoon and joins us now live. Mona?
Yeah, Jill, it's the 25th annual Boomsday Festival. An estimated 400,000 people expected in downtown Knoxville this evening. Let's show you some video from down there, back there on Neyland Drive, where the crowds are already here. They're enjoying fair food. They're listening to live country music. But of course, this all leads up to the nation's largest Labor Day fireworks display, and that begins at 9:30 tonight. And that's why we're here with Mike Walden. And Mike, you gave us this absolutely awesome location. This is sort of your headquarters tonight. We're over the river on the railroad tracks. Talk about what happens here in the hours ahead.
6 News reporter Mona Nair joins us now live at the cash mob with Knox County Mayor Tim Burchett. Mona?
Yeah, Kristen, as you said, we're at Stormer's Hardware, and they have been around for the last 65 years. To start, let's show you some of the stuff. We're standing next to a whole assortment of drills right here, if you're interested in that. Also, they've got these solar lamps that I'm told are rather popular. They've got cute little butterflies and sunflowers and things on it. And let's actually pan over next to the cash registers, because that's the whole goal of this cash mob, to get customers in, to get a lot of local business, and that's what they've been getting since 5 p.m. this evening. The cash mob runs until 7 p.m. and we are here with the man behind it all, Knox County Mayor Tim Burchett. And Mayor, before we get into the cash mob, you were very pleased just a few minutes ago because you said you got a terrific compliment from one of the customers.
Yeah, he said I was a redneck just like him, and I said, well, he's a voter and I'll take it. That's a compliment. I'll take it, man.
It sure is. Now, are you shopping here today? Have you picked up anything?
Absolutely. Well, I was going to get a new chain for my chainsaw, but I do not have a chainsaw, so I was looking at some wrenches.
May 11th, 1963. A young civil rights protester is taken out of the Tennessee Theater.
We have tried for years to try to identify this young lady, and we have not been able to do this.
The photo is a unique depiction of history. An African-American police officer has obviously been given instructions to remove her. But look at the gentle way he's holding the girl.
Had no other alternative but to follow the direction of his superior. But he wanted to make sure that she was not hurt, so he picked her up and is carrying her like a little doll, right?
Avon Rollins Sr. is the CEO of Beck Cultural Exchange Center, where the picture hangs with the title, "We Shall Overcome," and Rollins is in the photo.
Here I am when my hair was black, my mustache was black.
He says they were fighting for change. It was a time when African Americans weren't even allowed into most city restaurants.
If you got anything to eat, you had to go outside and eat on the street.
This is the area outside the Tennessee Theater where they believe that picture was taken. We're standing by the original box office. They were playing To Kill a Mockingbird that day, and back then African Americans weren't allowed inside. Rollins says for years he's looked through school yearbooks and other resources from that era, hoping to find the same face, so she can get the recognition she deserves.
And the young lady that we can identify, she's one of those unsung heroes who made a difference, because she stood up, for what she believed in. She got arrested.
But the picture still hangs here without the young lady's name in the description.
50 years has gone by, and almost 50 years. Nobody has been able to identify her.
The key to unlocking this mystery could be with someone watching this story. In Knoxville, Mona Nair, 6 News.